Welcome back for Chapter 15. I'm Lloyd Dobler, and this is the Tao of Lloyd, where I take the Tao Te Ching one chapter at a time and I aim it at Trumplandia like a weather report for a spiritual climate crisis, morphing into a Category 5 Third Reich shitstorm, complete with a gold-plated toilet and a Truth Social account. Yeah, that's how I'm describing the show today. I keep trying to figure out how to describe it. I'd love to hear from you. How would you describe the show? Hit me up. I'm on the socials. Just realize where you come from. This is the essence of wisdom. And that is a line from chapter 14 that keeps ringing in my ears. And I'll get to where I come from in a minute, because if chapter 14 was about the fog, this chapter 15, is about what happens when you finally stop fighting the fog long enough for the ground beneath it to appear. Which is difficult because it feels like living in the United States right now is like living inside a giant snow globe that somebody shook in 2016 and just never stopped shaking. We are a nation vibrating like a vibrator at a Motel 6 where the walls are thin and the life choices are loud. Meanwhile, the Tao shows up with a cup of tea and just whispers, "Do you maybe want to sit down for a minute?" And with that, let's jump right in to some stillness for the meditation and the reading. If you're somewhere where you can safely do it, I invite you to close your eyes. Or don't. I mean, I'm not your spiritual advisor. Am I? Go ahead and close your eyes. I mean, what have you got to lose? Unless you're explaining to a confused child why the adults keep breaking the world on purpose. Unless you're doing that important work, just go ahead and close your eyes to start the journey within. Good. Get comfortable. Breathe in through your nose and let it go. Breathing out through your nose like you're accepting that you will absolutely die with an unfinished to-do list. 'Cause chances are, you know. Breathe in and out. This is chapter 15 of the Tao Te Ching. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting, she is present and can welcome all things. That's chapter 15 of the Tao Te Ching, the chapter that keeps asking this question that feels so gentle on the surface and so impossible underneath it. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear. Most days, no, not even a little. My mud is loud. My mud has opinions. My mud files amicus briefs. My mud thinks it can fix the country if I just stay awake long enough. And I can't answer that question because my mind is still buzzing from the question from last chapter, or the thought that I keep going, just realize where you come from. Just realize where you come from. And if we wait for the mud to settle, we should see clearly the place where we are, the place from which we come. So where are we from? If you're anything like me, the answer is complicated. On one level, I come from Seattle, but not the Amazon Bezos, would you like that latte with a microloan, Seattle? No, I come from the 1980s Seattle, the soft focus, pre-grunge, pre-Nirvana, tadpole version of Seattle, where it rained like the sky was apologizing, and where every kid with a pawn shop guitar was somewhere between a garage band and a prophet. A place where I biked downhill and the whole world smelled like salt and evergreen and possibility. But to talk about Seattle, you have to talk about the land. Unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the people indigenous to the Pacific Northwest of Turtle Island. And it gets more complicated than that, because if I'm going to say where I come, I can't separate it from where this country comes from. Built in large part with that Second Amendment, that sacred cow we keep offering thoughts and prayers to. It wasn't written so the colonists could protect their IPAs from the British. It was written so white settlers could arm slave patrols and enforce a white supremacist racial hierarchy by law. And manifest destiny, that white Christian nationalist fever dream, it didn't stop at the Mississippi. It marched west, carved up native land, and it installed itself as the unspoken operating system of American identity. Trump's immigration policy, it's just manifest destiny with better lighting, a social media team, a theology of entitlement disguised as make America great again, make America white again. And if you trace that same logic outward, you hit a century of U.S. foreign policy, installing dictators, toppling governments, treating the planet like a risk board game. So when I say I come from Seattle, what I really mean is I come from this beautiful place built on beautiful truths inside a country that keeps trying to bury those truths under fireworks, free market optimism. That's my mud. That's my water. It deserves to settle too. Where else do I come from? Same place as you, right? The Big Bang. Because if we are doing this Taoist, Buddhist adjacent, we're all stardust with student loan debt thing, then I come from the same place as you come from. A hydrogen atom flung from the Big Bang, sloshing around the universe for 14 billion years, once again taking up occupancy in a human form for the billionth time, reincarnated until somehow decided to incarnate as a middle-aged guy with a podcast and unresolved Diane Court issues. Yeah, I'm stardust, star debris with anxiety, with cosmic leftovers and opinions. I am one ripple in the universe's long inhale, momentarily convinced that I'm separate because I have thumbs and a gym membership I don't use enough to justify but the cost, but I keep going because gyms make it really easy to sign up, but have you ever tried to cancel a gym membership? It's like the Hotel California. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Where do I come from? Everywhere, nowhere. Whatever existed before existing became a thing. And also, Only in chapter 15 of season 2, I may regret insisting on reminding you all this, but I mean, let's be honest, I come from a movie, a script, a boombox held overhead in the cultural memory of America. Well, I guess some of us, people our age, maybe. I'm a character who wandered off the set, not the actor, and somehow didn't get caught. I come from Cameron Crowe's brain in the romantic ecosystem of 1989, and then I slipped through a crack in the multiverse and landed here, my friends, in your headphones during this moment, Trump 2.0, hosting a Taoist podcast because the simulation forgot to patch something in the timeline. I'm a fiction leaking into reality like a VHS tape melting in the microwave of the collective unconscious. Talking to you, trying to make sense of a world that wasn't supposed to have a role for me at all. So where am I from? Seattle, stardust, fictional storyline. All true, all false. All mud, swirling in a glass. So when the Tao asks, can you wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? It isn't testing your patience. It's reminding you that the clarity you're desperate for doesn't come from more effort. It comes from less interference. When I stop forcing the water, when I stop rehearsing an identity and let myself simply be, the origins don't compete anymore. They harmonize. I am the land I grew up on. I am the universe that breathed me out. I am the story I escaped from and continue to write. The Tao isn't asking, where are you from? It's asking, can you stop long enough to feel the part of you that comes from everything? So, can you? From the edge of the empire and the center of self, this is the Tao of Lloyd.